Yeah.
Wow, that makes 2 Anime Man videos in just this season alone. You would think I probably have an obsession with him, but I really don't. It's just he says a lot of stupid shit, and someone has to be here to call him out on it.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is the Anime Man.
No, really? It's you, the Anime Man? I could have swore you were Misty Cronexi, or maybe you were Alex Jones in disguise all along. I mean, I didn't know from probably the 30 seconds that you had to, make up a fucking video.
As you can probably already tell, this isn't your usual balls off the walls, exciting, positive type of video.
Wow, Joey, this isn't one of your amazing vlogs, or check me out, I'm going to Japan, you filthy plebs. Or you're not Japanese, so you're not welcome here. Don't breathe my air, you filthy outsiders.
No, I'm actually quite pissed off, but more than that, I am just annoyed and embarrassed out of my mind for a number of reasons. A lot of dumbass shit has been happening in our community recently, and as one such member of that community with at least some amount of reach, I figured I would put my 2 cents into this recent situation, which has risen again from what I can only say are the most pointless, dumbass, embarrassing reasons.
I hope you have some damn good reasons you're gonna bring up, because if it's anything like the Flying Colors Foundation or anything like in your past videos where you try to cover up a controversy or try to strawman a situation, I'm sure this will be just as good as those videos. I mean, I know what you're going to bring up in this video, and honestly, you have no basis on how any of this works, but you're talking about the anime community as a whole. The anime community that put its trust into you to fill out a fucking survey, and you betrayed them by giving another company control of their personal information, even if it was just their email addresses, or if it asked you where to place all of your information in those form boxes. That's stuff that you had the anime community fill out. So what are you going to tell me today about how the anime community and you and yourself are just confused and embarrassed about them? Because I'm sure this is another straw man situation, and you're going to blame it on another third party because that's all you do. You always pass the blame and you never take any for yourself.
So for those of you who don't know, let me bring you up to speed. Some of you watching this may know of a little series that is currently airing as of the recording of this video called Darling in the Franxx. Currently we are 14 episodes through that series, and it has already garnered a massive amount of attention from a lot of different anime fans in this community. And it's completely understandable, and I'm right there with them. A1 Pictures and Trigger have done a fantastic job to bring back a modern mecha series that everybody is digging, or at least most of us were until recently.
Let's just freeze frame for a second there, Joey. Now, personal feelings aside, let's just talk about why some people don't really care for Darling in the Franxx. So contrary to whatever you're saying about a lot of fans or a lot of people just critically acclaim this show, it's not really that great of a show, to be honest. I mean, it takes a lot of things that have already been done before, and they just kind of recycled it into a modern setting. Like, they just kind of took it and made it its own thing, which is still ripping off of a lot of things from before. Not that anything has to be fully original nowadays. I mean, just look at what current trends are happening. But Trigger is reusing animations and everything from their own studio, and A1 Pictures is taking the approach of using same face, which is a problem that they've had before, where they just have the same character faces and they just throw different hair on them. Otherwise, it's all the same thing. It happened with Idolmaster and it happened with Sword Art Online. I mean, these are known problems that happen in their studios exclusively. But I'm sure you're going to let us know exactly what the controversy is that you're about to speak of, and why you have all the knowledge that you're not going to spoil anything for everyone that watched Darling in the Franxx, which I will spoil for you.
There has been this overblown issue that has arisen from the latest Darling in the Franxx episode, which I won't say in detail in this video in case it's a spoiler for some of you who haven't caught up to the series or are not watching the series. My buddy Chibi Reviews did a pretty good recap of the episode, which I'll leave in the link in the description below if you're interested.
Oh, your best friend Chibi Reviews? You mean the guy that takes Patreon money and doesn't give any of his Patreon supporters any type of rewards that he promised them? he doesn't give those people anything that he said that he would give them in return for their support? Yeah, I know that should be reviews. He also cries a lot on his YouTube channel. Gotcha.
But all I can say is that there was a certain relationship between certain characters that kind of broke in the recent episodes.
All right, this is the year 2018, and if you guys haven't seen this episode yet, I mean, even though it's only a couple of weeks old, if you haven't seen it yet, then you probably don't even care, or you've already seen it and you already know what he's talking about. So 02 is like trying to see her darling Hero, and pretty much Ichigo is being a cunt by not letting 02 see Hero. Like, that's like the thing. So she pretty much goes like a berserk mode and starts choking and kicking everyone's ass, and Hero and them have like a breakup kind of thing, and then Ichigo pretty much kisses Hero and she becomes like super thought. So yes, Ichigo did everything wrong, and the episode was kind of just an emotional roller coaster, and people were having this debate online about, well, Ichigo did nothing wrong, or Ichigo's a bitch, and then they started sending tweets. But let the anime man tell you that first.
Which has gotten a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, quite fucking salty. And look, there's nothing wrong with that. It just means that there are a lot of people who are very passionate and very emotionally engaged with the story and the characters of Darling in the Franxx, which you would argue was what makes it a good thing. I mean, we had a similar situation a few years ago with ReZero and the infamous rejection of Best Girl. But the biggest difference between the ReZero event and this current event is the scale to which this situation has been overblown. Because it's gotten to the point where not only are people making videos saying their distaste towards the last couple of episodes, giving their criticisms and critiques towards the last couple of episodes and what has happened, but there are even people sending hurtful, hateful, harassing messages and tweets publicly towards the creators, the directors, and the voice actors of Darling in the Franxx.
There are billions of people in the world, Joey, and you just happen to find the minute number of people that are just stupid enough to tweet something to somebody on the internet. Just like we discussed in our last video, the one that you said that hate comments are not constructive criticisms and that you want them to stop, they're not going to magically disappear because you yell loud enough. I mean, if you want that, then go ahead and just block everyone on Twitter or block everyone on YouTube and just have your own little echo chamber. But just because you find a few autistic people with their screeching and they say, I don't like this episode, you better change it now or I'm going to cry really hard, that's not going to do anything. Just let those people be stupid. I don't know why you have to sit here and make an entire video about it. I don't even know why I'm making a video about it. Oh wait, that's right, because you're an idiot and I like calling you out on stupid shit you say.
There have been tweets and public messages of people saying that certain staff members should be fired. And there are even like legitimate death threats towards voice actors of certain characters in the show. Like, are you fucking serious?
So I noticed that you cherry picked some comments from Twitter. This is the first time that you do this in this video, but you cherry picked some of these comments and you found one autistic person saying that these people should commit suicide, or harakiri. Now, notice that their avatar is of 02, so they're telling the person who made the show that they have an avatar of to commit suicide while they have the same anime avatar. That makes sense to you? And also, the person underneath it, they said that they should lose their job. That's not a death threat. That's just a person being stupid and saying that they should probably restaff their organization. I mean, people say that I shouldn't be doing YouTube videos, which they're probably right. Because, I mean, I could probably be on the beach somewhere. Just think of all the possibilities that I could be doing. I could just be live streaming from the beach right now at 12:11 a.m. Also, can we go ahead and just back up for a second? Because you had 2 articles for this entire story that you're talking about, and you didn't link those in your video. Like, they are legitimately missing from your entire description down below. I don't know if you just didn't want to include those because it just destroys your entire argument, or is it because they only have one picture of 02 holding a gun that says, say ah? I mean, I don't know if you did this intentionally. I don't know if you're just trying to dodge a question or if you're trying to be disingenuous. I mean, is there a lot of things that you're just missing? I don't really know. It's really just concerning. I didn't know if you were just, trying to play hard to get and you just didn't want anybody to know, but I wanted to see this evidence that you have, since apparently it's just all the way out there and we should just believe everything the King Emperor says about it. The almighty anime man. He would never steer the anime community wrong, would he?
And you know what's the saddest thing too? This isn't the only case of this happening in the past week or so. Within the same goddamn week, there have been certain people who are creating huge backlash over this one illustration that Horikoshi Kohei, the creator of Boku no Hero Academia, made to celebrate the release of the season 3 of the anime. There are a number of people tweeting back at Horikoshi's official Twitter account saying shit like, "Oh, how dare you sexualize these 15-year-old girls? You know they're underaged, right?" Meanwhile, many of these same people are retweeting unofficial yaoi doujin fan art of the male characters of the same age, mind you, interacting in way more sexualized content than the Horikoshi picture.
Now, Joey, I've been pretty simple on you this entire video. I've been really simple, just really easy, because without your, story about this entire thing, I think we've been pretty okay. You haven't really linked any of your articles, which I went ahead and did the liberty of, and they're in the description below in this video, but I got you covered. Now, when it comes to this tweet that you were talking about was My Hero Academia, that is something that you went through and you cherry picked certain parts of. You found certain things in those comments so that way you could make this video seem a lot more malicious in intent than you wanted it to be. You wanted to start this entire thing just based off of what you call a witch hunt, which essentially it is. And I went through and I found that exact same tweet. Again, you didn't source the link. I found it for you, again, and I had to look through myself. So Joey, I went to Twitter for you, and I found this exact same tweet with the same art and the same everything. And I looked at it. There's some good art. I didn't retweet it, though. I just don't generally care for the show myself, but it's some good art. And then one of the first things that I noticed is the comments that are right underneath it. And there you see a lot of people showing support for it. They're talking about how these different characters are the ones that they like. And then you get the once in a lifetime shitbag reward from a lot of different people. There's just the one that says, "I hate this." And obviously they, are a little bit different. I'm not gonna like really point it out. They're Tumblr artists, but more Tumblr art. But those are the people that generally don't like it, is because they're being trolls, or shitlords, as I like to call them. And those people should just be ignored. And that's why I don't believe that you generally went there to find out why people just didn't like it. You just wanted something to make a controversy out of. Don't chase controversies, just find something genuine and make a video about it. Don't try to make this entire thing like something that it's not. This isn't something that you go on a witch hunt for. I know you want to make a juicy story to bank off of the controversy and get those YouTube monies, but this isn't one of those. You're making outrage where there is none.
The level of irony is just laughably ridiculous. And mind you, these are just examples of the past month. Remember the infamous Netflix Death Note movie controversy? About how a bunch of people were sending hateful messages and death threats towards its director Adam Wingard, so much so to the point where Adam felt so threatened with his life and such in a horrible mental state from all the ridiculous hate messages that he was getting that he had to officially quit Twitter and social media.
Wow, Joey, another article without a link, which I have graciously put into the description. That one was from geek.com, which links you to this one from Sora News 24, where they show what was said, what Wingard was talking about, where he says, "Sorry, trolls, but the artist always wins in the long run. I love how many people feel personally attacked by this tweet. It's sick, almost like troll bait. Those that bit expose themselves. Film criticism is different than bitching at filmmakers on Twitter." Even in both of those linked articles, there's never been a mention or any evidence of any death threats that have ever been sent to Wingard. There's no way, there's no screenshots, there's just nothing. And if they wanted to manufacture that the same way that you've been manufacturing this entire story yourself, then I think that there's just nothing left to talk about here. I mean, this is all made up and there's no death threats, just a couple of autistic screechings from the people down below.
Or even before that, the controversial story of Kubo Taito, the creator of Bleach, suddenly disappearing from Twitter in speculation that it was due to a bunch of people giving him shit for the decline of his manga series.
But not death threats. They might have given him shit, but they did not threaten his life. Completely different.
Luckily, Kubo came back after a while, but if you look at his Twitter now compared to before he disappeared from Twitter, where he used to respond to a ton of messages from his fans and people who were tweeting at him, now it's kind of gotten so radio silent to the point where it doesn't even seem like Kubo is the one who owns this Twitter page now. These are just some of the more famous examples. I'm sure there are plenty more of these kinds of stories that have just been kind of swept under the rug or forgotten.
Or there's another way, there's another reason they didn't happen. Like I said, you're just trying to be more of a news for the anime industry instead of just being a regular anime YouTuber. I don't know what you're generally trying to get at. You're manufacturing this let's all be outraged at death threats when there's been no clear evidence that that's the case. There's just people making memes and then people saying, yeah, this episode was terrible. I mean, what are you really trying to do?
But the fundamental message and the whole reason why I am making this video is towards those people who have either ever thought about or have actually committed to writing these kinds of hurtful, hateful, harassment-filled messages and death threats towards authors, directors, and creators for something that they did. And I'm not just talking about as an anime fan or as a member of the anime community, just as a person. You are an embarrassment in every sense of the word.
Joey, I've been on the internet for a long time and I started doing YouTube videos less than a year ago. And at the very beginning of when I started making videos, Jed Whittaker said that I was pretty much a pervert and that I was a pedophile in training because I played a game with anime titties and incestuous kissing in it called Valkyrie Drive. Now you're saying that even if I even had the thought that I just wanted somebody to not exist, or I wanted to say something harassing or make a meme about something, or even just call them out and say, well, your art just sucks. I'm sorry. It's terrible. Then I'm an embarrassment. Do you know how you sound to everybody that follows you? It's condescending and it's fucking retarded. Like, it makes you sound like you are the end all be all. The person in that last email, the quote unquote last email that you read, is only making their point sound even better than what you're trying to make your point sound like. Because you don't seem to understand on any type of level that people are free to do whatever they want. Now, if they choose to write death threats, then yes, they're a bad person. But if someone has ever just had a bad thought in their brain just pop up at 3 o'clock in the morning, they're an embarrassment now? You're a new level of meme. You're an absolute fucking nut job.
Are you really gonna try and justify being so salty over some fictional fucking stories and characters to the point where you are going to send legitimate harassment and death threats towards the lives of some real people? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? If you want to be salty and talk about how much you fucking hate a series or what has happened to a series, or you want to talk shit on a particular creator or author or director for something that they did or made or say, then I don't have a problem with you expressing expressing that publicly. I mean, hell, I do it on this channel all the fucking time, and there are plenty of other AniTubers who do it, and there are even some people who don't make videos on anime who do it in comment sections and public forums all the time. I'm a strong believer that every artistic creation that is released publicly should be or has the right to be subject to any kind of criticism and critique from the public, whether that be really good or really fucking bad.
Except when it comes to you, apparently, because, you know, hate comments are mean. You know what? As I'm making this video, it's going to be titled, Hate Comments Are Mean Too, Electric Boogaloo, because you're a fucking asshat.
Like, I think that's just what the creative arts is, and that's what makes up the creative arts medium. But directly threatening the lives of those creators by telling them to kill themselves, telling them they should be fired from their job, all over some fucking fictional characters and this fictional relationship is fucking unacceptable. Don't you dare think that there is no difference between these two. I've publicly stated in videos for my hatred for certain creators, for certain series, but have you ever seen me directly go up to those creators, directly message or tweet at those creators, telling them that they should die and that they should be fired from their job? No, of course not. That's fucking stupid.
Well, of course it's stupid, Joey. You have over 1 million subscribers. If you say anything negative towards any of your partners or their affiliates, then you'll get all that ad money taken right away from you as soon as you got it. That's just simple math 101. If you're going to say something bad about any creator, whether it be Bakubo Kawa and his work on Pop Team Epic, or if you were to say anything about the creators of Neon Genesis Evangelion, or if you were going to say anything about the Monogatari series, they would be so quick to pull that rug from underneath you, your head would spin. I mean, are you this retarded? You have a platform that has over 1 million subscribers that you can talk to, and you can tell them what to do. You can talk about anime that they haven't seen. You could do all of these amazing things. Instead, you sit here on the internet and you spread misinformation, and you are just being completely dishonest with people, manufacturing a controversy where there is none. And out of all of these death threats that you say have been happening and circulating, you have not presented not one piece of that evidence, because there is none. And if you can happen to find one from a different language, then great, present that too, because I haven't seen any of that. Because what? They said, oh, well, you should commit harakiri? Because one autistic screecher said that you should probably kill yourself? I've been told by other people on the internet that I should kill myself. Are you kidding me? Come on. At this point, I don't even think you deserve a full video. I still have like a couple more minutes to go in your video. But, you know, this is such a train wreck for you. I don't even need to finish this video. In fact, I'll leave the link to your video in the description, since, you know, you don't leave links in yours. It's fine. It's whatever. But you don't deserve a full video. You don't deserve anything else from me. Not this season anymore. You can go ahead and tell all of your subscribers that they can go ahead and follow in your footsteps and that you are the voice of another generation or something. But until you stop being disingenuous and dishonest, I don't think there's anything less that we can talk about. Maybe until next season. But you don't get any more from me. Not in this video.